Bowen with Valley Market Real Estate. I am with my super good friend Jeff, the owner of this absolutely fabulous antique shop in the heart of Chickaloon, and I can't wait to introduce you. So this is Jeff.
Hi.
And he is the owner of
King Mountain Treasures.
Yeah.
In Chickaloon, Alaska.
Yep. Oh God. But everything else is just there. It's been left exactly how it's been all these years.
Exactly the way we like it.
I know. The less people, the better.
except we still want you to come out to Chickaloon to shop. So even though it's we just want less people moving in, but we still would like you to come to Chickaloon.
Yes,
so,
it's worth the visit and it's worth the experience for sure.
Anyway, hi Kaylee. It's nice to have you stop in today and see me, and especially in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
It's cold and windy outside, so if you hear the building creaking, it's just, stuff hitting the building as the window goes by. But anyway, so I have a shop in Chickaloon. There's not much else here. We have a post office and we have a couple other little Nova runners, and but not really that many other businesses.
Not really ones that you can stop into, like that are just there.
Right. So in the winter I try to be open on Fridays and Saturdays from about noon to 4, and that just is mainly for all the local people I know and the friends that stop by, and people that just, are looking something for their wives or their husbands for Christmas or birthdays or stuff like that.
Yeah, me doing last minute Christmas shopping for the family.
Yeah, she just gives me her list and I kind of go through and start checking things off that might be for them, and then she gets her choice. So so she kind of has her own personal shopper right here in Chickaloon, so who knew? But basically I try to have like a little bit of variety of everything.
There's something for the kooky person, something that, people who like antiques. It really is. Yeah,
I mean, stuff you never knew you needed, stuff that you just have to have just because, you don't know why. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of that in this small space, and if you're ever looking for something, it's a good thing to ask because I might know exactly where that item is. So.
Yeah, seriously, there is so much in this small little shop. Your eyes could be busy for at least an hour and you still probably wouldn't see everything. And I know you've been helping me decorate my house now for at least a couple of years.
Now don't blame me for all that. No, it's, it's true, but I mean, you have to, you kind of have to wait for the perfect thing to come along that you're looking for, and then, people's style and what they like kind of evolves over time, and they find out that they like something they never knew they liked before. So
when your inventory is always changing, because you kind of shop all the local antique places kind of out in Anchorage, or how do you get a lot of your inventory?
Well, basically, I don't shop Anchorage that much.
Okay.
I basically, maybe if I'm lucky, get to Anchorage once or twice a year.
Okay.
And probably in the last year, that only time was with you.
Which was super fun and really dangerous.
Fun. Yes, it was. Kaylee spent a lot more money than I did.
That's not true.
So basically a lot of stuff, I have a lot of stuff, and I'm still always processing, going through stuff, adding stuff to the inventory every day. I also help out with estate sales and do a lot of that. I don't necessarily find enough time to go to estate sales,
Okay.
only if I'm like the one, putting the estate sale on.
Yeah.
And then I do a couple shows in the lower 48 every year. So generally, I try to bring back specific things for specific people. And then, the best thing is, this will be my third year being at the state fair,
Yeah.
which I'm in Ravenhall, and you brought your whole family this last year from all over the country, and we had a really great time. But yeah, so right in Ravenhall, you can't miss me there if you can't get out to Chickaloon.
And it really is like a miniature version of your shop. It was just like, oh, I recognize that. Yeah. I recognize that. It's like you bring all of that personality too.
And then I was there.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Well, that is. I mean, the major part of this shop is Jeff and the expertise that you bring, because you've been doing this a lot longer than you just owning this store. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so basically I was in the military and was a registered nurse and did that for the first few years of my life outside the military. And then one thing kind of led into another, and I became like an antique dealer and with an expertise in 20th century glass.
Okay.
And so I worked for a couple auction companies, authenticating that for them and telling them what it would bring at auction and that kind of thing. And then just general line of everything else and stuff that, over the years I've found that I'm attracted to, like, and quality is always quality.
Yeah.
No matter what, if you look for things that are really high quality, they'll always be high quality. And that's why they're still here today for, a lot of the items, because they were made so well.
Yeah. Well, so what was crazy to me when we were shopping together, it was like I could just pick up any random item and you'd be able to kind of tell me something about it, whether maybe it was just the time period or how it was made. It's just like, how do you even gain so much knowledge about the most random things?
I think I'm not sure how you really put your finger on that, but basically I think it's just from the years of like handling things, looking at things, seeing things, figuring out where things were made, how they were made, what time period they were made in, whether they're Art Nouveau or Art Deco or Art Moderne. It's really like, it's all like dissecting all these little clues and then coming up and figuring out what the story was behind that piece.
Okay.
And that's really a really great thing if you can like really piece things together and find out like more about it and where was it all these years and how did it get lost and how did it get found again. It's such a great story, like in everything.
Yeah. Well, and so unless you are going to Anchorage, there are very few antique shops that Alaskans can get their hands on. I mean, we have a few like thrift stores in the valley, and that's pretty much it. And even garage sailing around here, at least I've noticed, it's not like garage sailing in the lower 48.
No.
So, I mean, you can find really cool gems, but here it's such a concentrated, I don't know, pool of items. And you sell it at a good price, too. It's not like you have them marked way up at what they could sell for maybe online.
Well, yeah, we were just talking about something like that, I had priced for like, basically not a lot of money, and then I did put it online. I usually, don't do a lot of that, but it brought triple the amount of like, what I had on it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think that, I never sell things to get the last dollar. I want people to feel like they got a bargain and they want to come back and that their experience was good and they can't wait to see me again.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and then, So you're open during the summer, and obviously that's when the majority of the business is going to come because we get a lot of travelers and sightseers coming up the highway, the campground, across there. But is the majority of your business, would you say, locals, or is it a lot just in the summertime when you do get the tourists?
I have a few really great local customers, and in the summer there's a lot of tourists. I get them walking over from the campgrounds, and year after year. I think I don't know. I think I've been here for about 8 years now.
Okay.
But yeah, a lot of the the tourists in the summer, and I try to be open, more like 11 to 5, Wednesday through Saturday, and then people can always get a hold of me, by my phone number or an email, and I, meet people down here a lot. So yeah, so I do have people that will call from Anchorage ahead of time and make an appointment, and then they'll spend half the day here, trying to go through everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it really is, I think, worth the stop because not only do you get to look at the beautiful scenery as you're coming up through Chickaloon, but this is kind of almost a little destination in itself, really.
Yeah, I think all we need is if we had a little restaurant right over here next to the post office, and then we'd be really like, in the 21st century.
Well, if someone wanted to go all the way up to Glacier View, maybe, to go stop at one of the restaurants there, this is the perfect, hey, let's get out, stretch our legs.
Yeah, it really is. And Sheep Mountain Lodge restaurant up there is fantastic.
Yes.
So we always try to get up there at least a couple times during the summer. But yeah, so this is a perfect stop spot. And usually, the post office will have sodas and ice cream and, the essentials, maybe some eggs, and who knows. In the future, maybe we'll have that little restaurant or coffee bar or something right here in Chickaloon, and it'll be an extra surprise for the people that stop by to see us.
Well, it's funny how many people that I talk to that actually live in Alaska, and they're like, where's Chickaloon?
Right.
I've never heard of it. Like, what?
Yeah. Or they think that we're all the way up by the North Pole.
Yeah.
Or somewhere like, chicken? And it was like, no, Chickaloon.
Well, it's hard. I mean, we're just kind of barely a blip on the map. We have your shop and the post office right next door to each other. And right now, really, those are the only two businesses that are open on a regular basis for people to actually stop. So you can easily just keep on driving.
Well,
and
you
missing.
could, but Chickaloon is more than just a blip.
It is.
It is like one of the most interesting, beautiful communities in all of Alaska. We're between King Mountain, where how I get my name. So we have King Mountain over here, and the Castle Mountain over here. So the king comes to the castle somehow, or the castle goes to the king. But anyway, it's just a really beautiful place. The Castle Mountain, there's not another mountain like it in the entire Alaska range. So you should really stop by and see that sometime. And then we have the river, and we have the whitewater rafting that they do over there in the summer. So Chickaloon's a great, place to come, spend a few hours, spend a half a day, and, go home feeling like what a great part of Alaska that is.
Yeah, you've really seen Alaska now. Because for me, it's like, come to Alaska, I want to see the mountains and the scenery, not necessarily all just the towns and the stopping point. I want to see Alaska just left as it is. I want to see the nature part of it. And that's the cool thing, is you have your privately owned properties basically condensed right off the highway, but everything else is just there. It's been left exactly how it's been all these years.
Exactly the way we like it.
I know. The less people, the better.
except we still want you to come out to Chickaloon to shop. So even though it's we just want less people moving in, but we still would like you to come to Chickaloon.
Yes,
so,
it's worth the visit, and it's worth the experience for sure.
So, Kaylee was asking about like kind of Alaska kinds of things that come into the store and that I look for. And this is one example that came in. It's a beautiful, this is actually Macedonia bone, and it's all scrimshawed. And I love the way they just took the natural shapes, the way the shard of the bone went, and see how it almost looks like how the mountains would normally go behind it. So even though it has all these scrimshawed mountains, the whole shape of this is just beautiful when you look at the whole picture. The artist really knew what he was doing, or she, even though I do think it's by an artist of the name of George Vokson. But it is signed. But it's just a beautiful example of Alaska, really at its best. I mean, this is just a small little piece, but it's, you know, such a jewel when you see that.
Thank you, Jeff, so much for being willing to do this video with me and let me tour the shop and open it up to all the subscribers.
Well, thank you so much, Kaylee, for getting together today and taking time out of your day and coming down. I really appreciate it. And if there's anything else that, you know, if you want to start making your Christmas list now, I'll start finding the things that you're going to have.
I know. I already have a few items in the shop that I'm like, that's mine.
I know, and I know what those are. I kind of hide them away, and then, you know, by Christmas next year, they'll be like, "Where's that thing you put?" And it's like, "Oh no, you know, that sold months ago." And then, you know, someone goes to give it to her for Christmas, like, surprise. So.
Well, thank you guys so much. And if you're in the area, don't forget to stop by King Mountain Treasures. This place truly is a gem in Chickaloon. So much diversity and eclectic items. And it's definitely worth the stop. So if you guys want to see more, please feel free to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.
Thank you.
Yeah, we should probably redo that one.
Okay.
All right.
But anyway, so I don't know where we were going.
I don't know either. It's okay, I can edit it.
Yeah. What do they call these? Sheep?
Yeah.
Bighorn sheep?
I don't know the specific.
Okay, well.
I'd have to look it up.
Let's start over.